All right, so
the main event.
Yeah, the main event time, baby. We both saw this film, right?
We did, and we both saw it not together.
Yeah, that's true. Because Mitch was at Mitch mentioned.
You already did that before.
Did
you
I?
said David and Mitch.
Oh, never mind. All right, so Mitch had to go to class, and he didn't get out until 10, so we had to watch the 10:30, the 10:30 one.
What day? Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Ooh.
You know, and
Yeah,
and I was a little tired, a little hungry, so that's a little disclaimer here.
Oh boy.
So, all right, here's the thing.
I have no clue what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, so you mind if I
go for it?
All right. First of all, let's just put this out of the way. There's a lot of fucking controversy surrounding this film. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what it is. If I had to guess, it would be one side being like, "Oh, female-led superhero films," and those people need to shut up. But at the same time, there's the people on the other side who are like liking it just because it's female and you know, just because it's a female-led superhero film, and kind of attacking those who don't like the film, even with legitimate criticisms, calling them sexist and all that crap. Let me just say this off the bat. You can't take... Are there trolls? Yes, but you can't take critics with legitimate criticisms and just put them under the veil of sexism and say you're a sexist or a hater, okay? People have legitimate criticisms of this film, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way first. Another thing I really enjoyed, just off the gate, the Stan Lee tribute in the beginning.
Oh my god, so good.
That was so good, wasn't it? Also his cameo in the actual movie was also so great.
Went,
yeah, right?
Theater.
You know, because like I won't say what she does, but she kind of puts the thing down, she gives him a little smile. I'm like, all right, that kind of made my heart melt
Making
a little
me giddy
bit.
a little bit.
And you know what I realized? You know, I guess I'll just say it. You know, he's reading the script for Mallrats.
What?
That's what he's reading. I'm like, because Mallrats came out the year after 96 or whatever, and the film takes place in 95.
Holy shit.
So I'm like, okay, that's
clever.
Dope. All right, that's dope. All right, but going into my opinion of the film, you know how much I love Marvel movies. Oh, I have been rooting for I pretty much love to like every single one of them. My least favorite one is Thor: The Dark World, right?
Okay.
That's not a great film, but even I can kind of watch that film and just kind of be like, all right, you know, whatever. I'll watch it and kind of enjoy it. Like, it's still watchable to me, even though it's not necessarily a great film or even a good film. It's actually pretty mediocre. This is the first Marvel film I really didn't like. I'm gonna be real with you. Man. Oh, I'm gonna be real. Okay, all right. Wow. Let me rephrase. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just, I'm so disappointed, man. They were on such a hot streak. And then
you're gonna have to explain a little better because I really don't know what you're talking about. This movie's kind of like, it kind of just does a lot of the same.
That's the problem, though. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of Marvel movies now, like, are kind of upping the game with like Black Panther, Infinity War, and stuff like that. You know, they're kind of like Thor Ragnarok, even. You know, they're trying to change the game and like kind of abandon the formula they've created, right? And then this film just kind of backtracks and goes into doing the exact same thing, into doing the exact same formula.
Sure.
There's really nothing new it adds to anything. And that's kind of sad because this film is basically a stepping stone to Endgame, and I kind of get that. This film is basically just a bridge to Endgame, so when she shows up, inevitably, in Endgame, you know, you're not like, oh, who is this character?
Yeah.
You know?
I think people had like high expectations for this film, given the fact that it's like the next step or whatever. This is the character that's going to be the savior.
That's
stuff
the thing.
Like that.
That's the thing. They built her up as like the face of the Marvel universe going forward,
but
right?
I don't think.
But I don't feel like she earned that spot. I feel like if anyone earned that spot, it's not even that she's a female. It's like Black Widow earned that spot more than she did. But it's like Captain America and Iron Man earned that place, you know. And then this new person shows up. Yeah. And just has to run the show. That's kind of weird because I don't know this character. We don't have a
history with this character.
We don't have a history with this character. And this movie had the opportunity to kind of make us like that character. I'm going to be real with you, man.
You didn't like her?
Did you like her?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, dude. I'm going to be 100% real with you. I thought Brie Larson's performance was terrible.
Okay.
I thought she
played herself.
Here's the thing with me. I like Brie Larson. She's an Oscar-winning actress. In Room, she was fantastic. I just think she was heavily miscast. And I'm not even blaming Brie Larson because a lot of actors, you know, really rely on their directors. You know, so I don't know what Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck were like telling her, like she's gonna be like, what's my motivation? And then they were like, wood. You know, because like she was so wooden.
See, I don't know.
She didn't have like any charisma, and it's not that the whole like smiling thing, like whatever that was. It's like I don't care if she smiles or not. I just want her to have more of a personality, and she didn't really have that to me.
I just saw her as Brie Larson. I didn't see her as Captain Marvel. I just saw her Brie Larson.
Yes,
but like she's.
But she
I thought she was kind of charming. I thought she was kind of funny. I mean, Nick Fury definitely like. Captured the attention.
I got stuff to say about Nick Fury too.
Oh yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they did her kind of all right. She's kind of competitive. She's a shoot first, ask questions later girl.
Yeah.
She just lands and then just sees the True Lies poster, just shoots it immediately.
Yeah, that's cool. That was cool. I do like a lot of the '90s references and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. I do like the setting, and but here's what I told my friend David when we drove to like McDonald's after the movie, right? And other critics have said this, so it's not just me. This movie feels like a Phase 1 movie.
It does.
It really does.
It really does.
But I don't think that's a good thing.
But I think if it was a Phase 1 movie, it would be like the third best one.
If this movie came out during Phase 1, I would have enjoyed it. Because that was a different time.
Yeah.
But now, in the tail end of Phase 3, we only have one more film of Phase 3. And it's like, you're going to throw that at us? I'm like, I don't know, man. Another thing, too, is Marvel has been really good about giving directors a voice in their films. You know, like Taika Waititi, James Gunn.
Mm-hmm. There's not a voice in this. There's no fucking
voice.
style.
It's stock.
Actually, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. This is probably the worst part of this film.
Yeah.
Is the technical aspects.
Yes.
The fact that we can do Thanos, make him completely CG, and like forget the fact that he's even CG. Yeah. And then, okay, I'm gonna say the de-aging effects for Nick Fury was awesome.
Yeah.
It felt like he was in the
so
like he was
good.
from the 90s.
Yeah, that was really good.
But like you have this like rubbery face for like the Skrull, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like that was weird.
You have like blue face for like Kree. Ugh, completely fucking disgusting. Like, we could do better than that at this point, and it has shown. And then just like the first scene. Now this is actually kind of funny that you said the Phase 1 thing.
Yeah.
Like one of the first scenes for like the action is like they go to this like planet or something like that. It's really foggy and it's muddy and gross looking.
Yeah.
Can't see fucking anything. And that scene reminded me of Thor, the ice planet that they go to.
There's a lot in this movie that's kind of Thor-esque, like the whole fish out of water thing, even.
Yep.
And all that. Also,
they kind of did it. It wasn't that bad with her because she like has like memories or whatever, and they kind of just ignored that because she just pretty much acts like a human, like has her personality and stuff like that. It was like I thought the same thing with like Doctor Strange, like he's going to become like this all-knowing being, and he's just going to completely lose his personality. But like that's why I said she just acts like Brie Larson because she just is a person.
Yeah, but I just feel like
she's not an alien.
I feel like she just needed a little more, just a little more drama to her character.
Sure.
And I'll go back to something I did like. I did love the de-aging effects. That's where a lot of the money went into, and you can kind of tell.
So good.
Yeah, and Clark Gregg too. Also,
they
really
both
good.
Look real good.
Really good. So what else am I gonna say about Brie Larson's performance? Okay, I understand that they wanted to simplify the origin of Captain Marvel, because in the comics her origin is very convoluted. It's crazy, and I understand that they wanted to simplify it and be like, I'm not one of those comic guys who's such a purist. I'm like, where's the Psych Magnetron? It's like, I'm not going to be like that. That's the thing that gave her powers in the comics, plus a couple other things. But the way they gave her powers, I thought was a little annoying. And also the MacGuffin, I won't spoil it because I guess it's a spoiler. The MacGuffin used to give her powers, I'm sick of seeing that just in the Marvel movies. I'm like, can we see a different set of these things? And if you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. There's a set of these things, and then one of that set pops up again. And I'm like, okay, first of all, that kind of breaks the timeline a little bit, because how did that end up here and then end up there in the Avengers or whatever other movie it popped up in?
A lot of connecting the dots just wasn't working.
Yeah.
A lot of it felt like an afterthought. A lot of it wasn't even necessary.
And here's the thing, too. You know how Ant-Man comes out, it's a funny little standalone film, funny little side film, but then Civil War comes out, and now with Endgame coming out, they're going to build on that character. Civil War built on Ant-Man, introduced Giant Man and stuff like that, and kind of built on that character. I'm hoping Endgame can do that with Captain Marvel. And it's not a spoiler that she's in it. They've announced it like 100 times.
Yeah.
So, where was I going with this? I totally forgot. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember. So, a lot of Marvel movies build on their predecessors, right?
Sure.
This movie is the first Marvel movie, in my opinion, that actually took away from a lot of the lore and kind of took away some of the magic for me.
Yes.
And first of all, I want to get into Nick Fury right now. When Nick Fury was in the trailer and some critics were complaining about him playing with the cat, and they're like, oh, that's not Nick Fury's character. Why is he doing that? I'm like, of course that's not his character, because that's not Nick Fury we know.
He's not all business yet.
He's not all business yet. But here's the thing, though. By the end of the film, I was expecting him to become the Nick Fury we know.
Yep.
He doesn't at all. There is no arc with his character. He's the exact same guy from the beginning of the film to the end of the film. And I'm like, what made him such a hard ass? Like, I thought we were going to explore what made him such a hard ass. And even in other films, like in Winter Soldier, when he's like, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. And now it's like, what does that mean now? By the way, it's just...
Yeah, it almost seems like the writers and like the director didn't watch any of the other ones to try to connect them.
No, they didn't.
And that's like so like super disheartening, because you remember when people were like, "Oh, well, it's a plot hole because they didn't call her during like Avengers or something like that," and they didn't even try to make it seem like there was a reason.
That's the thing, dude.
That's what really bugged me.
Yes, exactly, because that was one of the biggest questions going into Captain Marvel. They were like, how come Nick Fury did not call her when an emergency happened, like the Battle of New York? Yeah. We were expecting them to explain that, right?
Getting sent into the fucking city, like, okay, this is the fucking time to call him.
Ultron, making an entire meteor out of a city, ready to destroy the whole planet.
That's probably less threatening.
Yeah, it's probably less threatening. But it's like, they don't explain it.
No, not at all.
They don't explain why he didn't call her.
Annoying.
And I was like, what? I hope they explain it in Endgame, dude. They better explain it, because if they don't, that would just annoy me.
This one is just really not tied together with all of them. But I don't know.
The biggest questions I had, and I'm sure you had, going into this film, how did Nick Fury become his personality? Like, why did he become such a hard ass? And why didn't he call Captain Marvel? Where has Captain Marvel been? None of those were answered. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay, so one more thing.
Mm-hmm. Can I also mention something?
Another negative, actually.
Oh, okay, go ahead. You go ahead.
The villain sucks.
What villain?
What villain?
What fucking villain? Like, okay, so...
I guess I can see where you're coming... I think we had different expectations going into this movie. You expected it to, like, learn from its mistakes or something like that, and, like, okay, we finally got through the whole villain problem.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like we got through the villain problem afterwards when like Ant-Man and the Wasp came out. I thought that was a kind of shitty villain.
Oh, really? I like Ghost, personally.
And I think that this one has the same issue, and it's like I don't kind of expect them to solve everything. Mm-hmm. It's going to take them a while, and also at this point in time I've come to realize that's like they don't put as much effort into every single movie.
Right.
If they did, we wouldn't have rubber face fucking Skrull. We wouldn't have all these garbage editing issues that we have.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like, first of all, the marketing is trying to make you think that the Skrulls are the villains, which makes sense, because the Skrulls in the comics are villains. They're basically Nazis. Okay, they go into a planet and secretly infiltrate it. They secretly invade it. There's actually a really cool storyline called Secret Invasion in the comic books that's about that. And it's like the world is being secretly invaded by these shape-shifting Skrulls, and one of the members of the Avengers gets infiltrated and gets like shape-shifted, and they're like trying to figure out like who's the Skrull. Like, it's one of those things. It's like, it's really cool, right? But now
it's the Thing.
Yeah, right, it's the Thing. That's exactly it. But now though, I won't spoil it, but they did something with the Skrulls that make you think like, but now you can't do this with them now. I don't want to spoil it, but it's like you can't. I mean, I guess you can.
You can,
but
because you got this whole time thing going on. Like, if there's a 20-year difference or whatever.
That's true. That is true. Maybe the Skrulls.
You can do anything.
Yeah, like, and the thing is like they're touting Ben Mendelsohn, who I did think his performance was pretty good. I mean, he's Ben Mendelsohn,
Yeah, he's good.
But he's a villain, right? He's like the main villain. That's what you're led to believe, and stuff like that, as the marketing tells you. But then halfway through the film, I won't say how, but his character just just becomes a different character. And I'm like, what just happened here?
Yeah.
I'm like, this just seems like a completely left field kind of thing that just happened, you know? And all that. Also, Maria Rambeau in the film, who's from the comics, her daughter becomes Photon, who's like another superhero. So that's like a little cool Easter egg there as well.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen her friend in 6 years, right? And they meet up for the first time in 6 years. There's like no emotion, dude. Like they had like no connection.
Well, it's just that part you can just chalk up to like the whole alien thing, like being brainwashed borderline.
Yeah, but shouldn't she, like Maria Rambeau, like shouldn't she like feel something?
I think she kind of noticed it as soon as she like the daughter went to hug her and she was like, who is this person? She gave that weird look and she's like, yeah, you're not the same person anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That really didn't bother me that much.
Right. I don't know, man. I felt I thought that some of the character interactions were a little weird. I thought, again, and it was funny because there were characters that they were hyping up in this film to make their reappearance, and they're barely in it. Clark Gregg as Coulson is barely in this film. Freaking Ronan. What did he do? What did he do? I thought why didn't they make Ronan the villain and make him actually cool?
Ronan.
You know?
I fucking love Lee Pace, dude.
I know. Why didn't they make Ronan cooler? Again, this could have been an opportunity.
They didn't make him cool in the first one.
Exactly. This could have been an opportunity to take an already established character from Guardians and flesh him out. Make him menacing. Make him more relatable. Make him less one-dimensional. They didn't take that. Same thing with Korath, also from Guardians of the Galaxy. He's barely in it.
Korath the Pursuer?
Yeah.
Who's he? Which one's he?
He's the African-American guy. He's part of Star Force. He's got like the
That's
thing in his
Korath?
head. That's Korath, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Guardians when
I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in this.
I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah, Korath the Pursuer.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, you know.
This changes everything. So,
And, again, they're barely in it. What the hell was Ronan? He was in 2 shots! Like, barely anything.
No,
He shot that in 1 day. Not even. That was a lunch for him. Like, oh my God.
I feel you on a lot of these points, but I'm not gonna let that take away what I did enjoy about it. Was I enjoyed the character interactions. I really like the characters that came, the new faces and stuff like that. I like her friend. And like I'm gonna shove it someplace or whatever. It's
okay, yeah.
I like them all. I felt like they were like Phase 1 characters, and I feel like Brie Larson or Captain Marvel is gonna mesh really well with the other Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Once the situation kind of mellows out a little bit.
Yeah,
I think she's funny. I really like her witty banter. I really like the conversations with her and Nick Fury.
Okay, yeah, some of the humor...
They were boys.
I'll tell you, some of the humor was good. I'll admit that.
Yes.
One thing, I got a couple more things negative I want to say, about this film, unfortunately. I'll get into some more positives later.
Oh, no, you're fine.
A reveal about one character really pissed me off.
Yeah, I was kind of getting on that
a little
earlier.
I was like, really? I won't spoil it. But I was like, really? But relating to that reveal, we need to talk about the cat. A lot of people are like, the cat steals the show. I'm like, not really, though. Did the cat steal the movie for you?
I love the cat.
You love the cat?
So, I think somebody leaned over to me and said, dude, the cat's the best character. Like, literally.
Well, then what does that say about your other characters in the film, though? Isn't that a detriment to your other characters?
They just really like cats.
Yeah, I mean...
Dude, the other Brian mentioned, dude.
Yeah.
It was David. He was like, dude, he talks to the cat like Brian talks to his cat.
That's
true. Troubler.
Like, yeah, right?
He talks to...
Yeah.
Hey, cutie. I fucking love Brian, dude.
Yeah, dude. I think... First of all, I don't think Brian would like this film at all.
I don't think so.
I think he would hate it, but I think he would like the cat, though.
Yeah, he would definitely like the cat.
So, again, I expected a reveal to happen with the cat, because, they were always like... I thought it would have been funnier, though, if they just never mentioned it. Like, if the cat was all menacing and everyone was, like, scared of the cat, and then even when they scanned the cat and they're, like, Flurkin, threat level 10, and they just had it just be a cat. I think that would have been funnier. Yeah. Personally.
Yeah.
Like, I expected a reveal to happen there. Because, Ben Mendelsohn kept saying throughout the whole thing, he's like, that's not a cat. It's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so the reveal, it's not a reveal anymore. Because he just said, like, 100 times, that's not a cat.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like, wasn't a surprise or anything.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny though.
It was kind of funny. I mean, it was all right. What was I gonna say? I had another negative.
I'm gonna pick you up now.
Oh, right. Here's one more negative I have. Some of the music choice.
Complete garbage.
Especially
garbage. I'm Just a Girl. I know you're trying to do your women empowerment angle
I know,
and stuff like that. And I dig it, but like that is like the worst time to play this song in the middle of an action sequence.
See, if this movie, yeah, exactly, it takes away all the stakes.
It was so loud. I saw it in IMAX. That song played over all of the sound effects.
Yeah, it was that whole scene. That song took away all the stakes from that scene. Also, another thing about this movie's agenda, I feel like this movie kind of has an agenda. That's fine if you want to put an agenda in the film, but I kind of more prefer films like Wonder Woman that just kind of don't have to do stuff like that. Even in Wonder Woman, when they're in the trenches and they're like, that's no man's land. You understand what that means? That means no man has been able to go through that, part of land or whatever. And I was expecting the camera to like come up and she would have been like, good thing I'm no man. And then, whatever. But she didn't say that at all. She just like, oh, I want to go help those people. So she went across the no man's land,
Yeah.
That's much more subtle and much more appreciated. But Captain Marvel doesn't do that. Captain Marvel is much more in your face about it. And it's like, in doing that, you kind of ruin the tension in a lot of the scenes, like with that I'm just a girl.
I knew that coming into this movie there wasn't going to be a lot of tension.
Yeah,
I wasn't really looking for it.
And that's another thing too. When she goes full binary in the, when she gets like her full powers or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no stakes at all. There is absolutely no stakes. She's too overpowered. It's kind of the Superman effect. She's so overpowered to where there's no threat against her. So I'm like, what am I? There's no tension in the scene right now.
Yeah.
Even like there's supposed to be like this last battle between her and the main villain, and you're like, it's like nothing, and it goes the way you expect it. Mm-hmm. It's just she just like snaps her fingers and then done.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, and I'm like, she needs.
That's something I kind of expected as well. There's no like milestone or something to achieve by the end of this movie. Basically, like her achieving. Meeting her friends and stuff like that. That's like my friendship is powers type thing like that. I mean, I didn't really expect like her to be toppled by like any threat that the Kree had or anything like that, or the Skrull had.
But she didn't even struggle though. Like at least have her struggle in some way. Like have stakes in the film. If you just have a Superman film where then you get Superman Returns almost.
Oh, you get Justice League where like literally the villain never lands a punch on Superman.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're just like, I didn't really expect it. I figured that they need to make her powerful. They need to make it seem like they have a chance now. Yeah.
For Endgame.
I don't hate the character. I hope they redeem the character in Endgame. I hate to say this, but they're gonna have to pull an Iron Fist for me. When Iron Fist came out in the first season, I was like, I hate this guy. Mm-hmm. But then with his appearance in Luke Cage and Iron Fist Season 2, they kind of rewrote the character to be more likable. A little bit. Yeah. They made the character much more likable. And I hope they do that with Endgame. I feel like the Russos can...
Yeah, basically what it boils down to for me is you need the Russos.
Yeah.
You're going to do... Like, I think every single action sequence in this entire movie was a wash. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed, the interactions. I enjoyed, the I don't want to say weight because there's really not that much weight to the film, but I enjoyed just the little things. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all right.
A couple things I did like. Some of the Easter eggs were really cool. Like when she's flipping through the suits, Oh. And she's changing the color of her suit.
Dude, she should have kept that neon one, dude.
I know that one was actually pretty sweet. But that was cool, like a Tron, dude.
Yeah.
But a couple of those suits were suits from the comics, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a little cool nod. Like the one that's completely white and lime green or whatever, that's from the comics. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else did I like.
It's real hard.
It kind of is. Again, it just kind of feels like a movie that didn't add anything new to anything.
Fair.
It actually took away stuff, and I feel like it really annoys me because the potential could have been there. You could have used Ronan in such a better way and fleshed him out more. You could have answered the questions that the whole purpose of this movie was to answer. You didn't even answer. Why did Nick Fury become such a hard ass? We don't know. I'm like, Also, it kind of breaks the universe because in the Avengers, he's like kind of confused. He's like, we've never seen anything like this before. But it's like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, you saw aliens in the 90s, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know. This.
Here, let me just lighten it for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you're probably like, oh, dude, this dude's gonna give it a 7 or whatever. I'm gonna give it a low 6.
A low 6.
Because that's comparative to like all the other ones. That's like a fair rate. That's a fair rating.
Okay. I like this film less than you.
Okay.
I'll say that. But I will say, okay, is this film bad? Like, is it terrible? The answer is no. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I don't think Marvel has had. Oh, sorry, I gotta bring this up. Mitch hates this film.
Oh.
Hates it. Which is weird because we kind of gave it the same rating. Almost. I liked it a little more than him. He said Justice League was better.
Justice League's like a 1, dude.
Justice League is a 1 star. He said Justice League was better. Can you believe that?
I don't know about that. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I mean, an opinion's an opinion. Right?
Yeah, an opinion's an opinion, but man, Justice League was a mess of a movie. I've never seen a movie that much of a mess in my life.
There's literally one fragment of a scene that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
The head turn. That's it.
The head turn. Oh, yeah. When Superman's like...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was cool. But other than that, nah.
I just realized we spoiled the movie, but that's alright.
What, Justice League?
Fuck it.
It's been out, dude. Who cares? I feel like there's a statute of limitations if you haven't seen a film. You know?
I wouldn't say that for, like, any film, but I would say it for, not like, nowadays, like, mainstream films.
Yeah.
Films that come out in theaters, the big box office hits.
Spoiler alert.
But I'm not going to spoil, like...
The Wizard of Oz is not an actual wizard. Spoiler alert.
Oh, shit, dude.
Yeah, sorry. I just ruined it for all you guys.
But, like... well, the Old Boy's been out for a long time, so maybe I should just say how it ends.
No, yeah. I mean, maybe. But,
Okay, so rating?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, rating. I gave 2.5.
2.5?
2.5.
That's actually better than I thought.
Yes.
See, if I was you, I would give that 1.5.
No,
based on what I just heard.
I'm switching. I constantly switch the more I think about it between 2 stars to 2.5 stars. I might have to see it again. I was tired. Maybe I probably will see it again just to get more of a definitive opinion on it. Because the second time I actually saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, I enjoyed it a lot more.
Really?
Yeah, I did. So maybe it's one of those movies, but it kind of doesn't seem like it's one of those movies. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is in my bottom 3 Marvel films. And I'm not saying it's bad. Marvel hasn't had a terrible film yet. They haven't had a Suicide Squad or Justice League yet. But this film, for me, again, it is... I don't know if it's worse or better than Thor: The Dark World for me.
Dude, it's worse than Thor: The Dark World. That movie's a fucking mess. It's incomprehensible.
What? Wait, which one? You said
Dark
it is
World?
worse than Thor: The Dark World, or you don't?
No, I'm sorry, it's better than that.
Yeah. Okay, so you think it's better than Thor: Dark World?
Yeah, Dark World's fucking garbage.
I don't know. I don't think Dark World is garbage.
I think it's garbage.
I think it's not good.
It's Stargate, and the first one's a Mythos film. This is a fucking Stargate film.
Yeah. I don't really enjoy... I mean, I still enjoy Thor: The Dark World, but it's not a good movie.
They completely changed how...
the first one was, yeah.
Yeah, what's Thor's... What's the place that he comes from?
Asgard?
I'm completely blanking out. Asgard.
Oh, they completely changed...
They
changed the aesthetic completely. Because they went from like a mythical kind of colorful, kind of space to like a Viking.
Ragnarok didn't do that. They segregated like the places. Like you got this like fucking 80s place that he's at or whatever. Like,
but then you still had Asgard.
You still have Asgard, which is still Asgard.
Yeah. So I do. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Again, Thor: The Dark World. I'm not saying it's a great movie. I just think it's an okay movie. I don't think it's a terrible film. Captain Marvel.
I disagree.
Captain Marvel. I don't know. I'm flip-flopping. I don't know if it's above or below Thor: The Dark World, but it is in my bottom 3.
Wow, that's pretty bad, though.
You know how I do it?
Below that, that's like, wow.
You know how I do it?
How do you do it?
I just go by phases. It's like, what's your least favorite film in Phase 1? For me, sorry, it's Iron Man 2. Phase 2, Thor: The Dark World. Phase 3, it's Captain Marvel. So those are my 3 least favorite Marvel movies.
Incredible Hulk was Phase 2,
Thor: The Dark World, yeah.
Shit, what is even... Now I gotta look up Phase 3.
Phase
I want to see them all. This might be the worst one.
Yeah, Civil War.
Black Panther.
Civil War, Black Panther.
Phase 3 is so good, though.
Yeah, it is. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, or Homecoming.
Phase 3, Marvel.
Thor, Ragnarok. I want to know.
Oh my god, I gotta do all this shit to find it. So difficult.
So difficult.
Okay, guess what?
What?
I agree.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
But I still think I think it tops a lot of the movies from like the. Nah, dude, I gotta give it to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
You gotta give it to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna debate you on that one. That one kind of. All right. You think this is better than Ant-Man and the Wasp, huh?
Yeah,
right.
probably.
All right.
Buy it, dude. Buy it.
Itty bitty, teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
Yeah.
All right.
By that much, except for not that much, because that's a fucking mouthful.
Yes. I'm really disappointed. I really wanted to like this film. I didn't want to come in. I'm a fucking... You know me, man. I am the Marvel guy.
Yeah.
I want Marvel. I want to love every single Marvel film that comes out. Every single Marvel film that comes out, I am hyped, dude. I am hyped. Mm-hmm. You know? And so... I'm just disappointed as a fan, because I love Carol Danvers from the comic books. She's amazing.
I know something about you, though. Every time that you text me, I got a lot to say about this movie. I'll be prepared to listen to you just shit on it.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're talking good about a movie that you got a lot to say about.
Yeah. No, dude, I'm just... You know, this is you got to understand, too, this is like the highlight video that we're going to be making. So we got to go in depth. Because I'm not going to make a highlight video out of Sparrow Creek because no one's going to watch that.
Yes.
But Captain Marvel, though, people will watch that.
I watched the shit out of Sparrow Creek one.
But yeah.
That's because I watched the movie and I want to see what people say about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People don't know about it. But everyone's talking about Captain Marvel, so we have to...
Yes.
Mm-hmm.